Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some tarot cards. I did get a new tarot deck, so I'm going to go over that. So let's see, this is the box here. I got it on Amazon for about 22 bucks. It was like $16, and then with shipping it was like 22. So Mystic Monday, it does come with this little booklet here, and it has the interpretations for all of the tarot cards I have here. Also, it gives the reverse and the upright, as you can see, so that's pretty cool. And so I have them set into different stacks. So I have the major arcana here, and they are so pretty. I love the way they are decorated. So I have these, and then I have the minor arcana cards here, and then I have them in one stack, and then here they are. Beautiful cards. Oh my gosh. And then if you like, what attracted me to these cards the most is their sides, because it has that rainbow iridescent effect. I don't know if you guys could see it, but yes, look how pretty. So yeah, and this is the front of the card. It has the evil eye and then like a diamond around it. So I do have my trusty crystals on the deck. I know I went over some of my favorites in the last video, and this is the rest of the ones that I didn't go over. This one is new. I had got, when I got this case, I got this one, and it's so pretty. In this case, I got it from my crystal shop out here for like $5. It was super cheap. This is not what it's used for. It's really an incense holder, but it does good as for my crystals too. So I have that on my table. This is the back of the card. So it has these, and it's just telling you it's to use your intuition and follow your spiritual connection when doing tarot readings. So that's really all it really says back here. All right, so we can go into our interpretations now. I will say it is good to get a good shuffle in first. It doesn't really matter how you prefer to shuffle. Some psychics do it differently. It's really whatever is comfortable to you is my suggestion. You don't have to do it a certain type of way. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You don't have to do it the way they do it. It's just whatever is comfortable to you. Just follow what you like. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to do a good little cut, and then we're going to start. Okay, so the first card that we have here is the Emperor. So he's all about authority. It can represent a father figure. It can represent someone that you know, or it could represent yourself, just depending on the type of reading that you're doing. He's all about, like I say, he's all about authority. He's all about following rules and regulations. He's not too much on the romantic side. It's not like that he can't be, but it's just more sure it's not his strongest point, basically. So here is the Emperor card. So the next card that we have is the Hierophant, or however you pronounce it. I just call this card the Priest card because that's basically what it is. The original description of this card is a priest sitting down, and he has two people in front of him. Maybe I'm guessing they're supposed to be getting married or such, but this card represents traditional values, so marriages, christenings, baptisms, those such things are has to do with this card. So if this card pops up in a reading, it's basically just saying that you need to follow more of the traditional values. Now if this card does come up reversed, then it's basically telling you that you don't want to follow the traditional values. So that's that card. The next card I have is the moon. So the moon represents illusions. As you can see, she's sitting down, looks like on the iceberg. There's the big moon in the background, and then we have these two illusions from far off distance. So this card is basically about seeing things that aren't really there. So basically, if you get this card in a reading, it could be signifying that maybe you aren't seeing things as clearly as you should be. It also can represent you not moving on from older or pastor wounds in past wounds, and that it's putting this illusion on your life as if you cannot move on, and in fact you can move on and you can get past those things. It's just you feel crippled in fear. So when getting this in the tarot reading, just depending on what type of reading and what other cards are related to it, just remember illusion of the mind when you see this card. And the next card is Judgment. So Judgment is the card of rebirth, and also it is the card of following that inner voice that's inside of you. So universal path that is chosen for you, following that universal path is what Judgment is about. It is about coming into one with yourself and realizing that the path that you may have chosen in the past is not the path that is destined for you, and it's not the path that you really want to be on. So it's more like you figuring out that this is not you, and you found something else that works out better, and it's a rebirth of the new potential you. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune, which I call the Wheel of Fate, because it's more like the grand design of the world. It's constantly rotating, it's constantly changing. It's nothing me, you, or anyone else can do that can stop the grand design. It's just something that we just can't control. So getting this in a reading, just determining on what's going on in your life at the apparent time or whatever, it will determine what the card means. So let's say, for instance, right now you're having a hard time in life and you lost your job and things are just not going well. So getting this in a reading is just indicating that the Wheel of Fortune is constantly turning. And right now it might not be on you and focused on you, but it will constantly get to you eventually. And it's just saying to keep up faith. Things will change. You will not stay in the same situation. Now, in the context that things are going well and life is well, getting this in the reading is just a little warning that things will get a little shaky. It's possible to get past this, but you're going to have to, go about it with great caution, and depending on the situation, communication, and just prepare for what is about to happen. So the next card we have is Temperance. It's one of those cards where it's like, be patient. I don't like this card because I'm not a patient person. So usually this in a reading is just makes me feel, I mean, I understand, but yeah. So this is all about patience, harmony, and peace. It's about taking things the way it's supposed to be taken. Like, do not rush anything. Do not make rash decisions, hasty decisions. Don't try to force something that you cannot force. Everything happens in its own planned time, and you have to trust that when it's meant for you, it will happen for you. You cannot rush things. So this is just all about acceptance and patience, and just realization that it will come in time. The next card we have is the Chariot. Now, This card is all about willpower and basically charging to do what it is that you are determined to do. Having determination, having everything that you need to where you can just charge into it. Now, based upon how the card is description, like the way it looks, you can see that she's like riding on whatever this is supposed to be. So it can be in a literal sense, meaning travel. You can have some travel that's coming up soon, and this is just telling you that be on the lookout for it. But on a simpler and common complex of the card, it's just basically saying that you have the determination, you have the willpower to do whatever it is that you want to do, and you can do it chargingly. Now, the next card that I have is the Hangwoman. Originally the Hangman, but this card's deck is a little different. So, this card is basically just signifying that you're in a limbo sense. So basically, you're not in a horrible situation. You're just not in a situation that's making you happy. There's some things that you're holding on to, and there's some things that you need to let go. So this looks apparent to me that it's an acrobat. I don't know if that's streamers or if that's rope, but basically she's holding on to some things that's holding her back. And if you want to go to the next phase in life, you have to sit there and you have to decide, okay, what are the things that I can take with me, and what are the things that are holding you back? Once you separate the two, then you move on to the next phase in your life. And the next card is the Magician. So the Magician signifies having all the resources that is needed to be successful and to move on. So this is basically just saying that, let's say for instance, there's a new job on the horizon and you still have your current job, but you're not sure if you should take that leap from the job that you have now to a new job because you don't know what to expect. You don't know if it'll be a better situation. You don't know the outcome. So getting this card in the tarot reading with that situation in mind is just basically saying that you have everything that you need to go to the next job. You should do it. Like, just go for it. And the next card is the Tower. So this is probably one of the worst cards that you can possibly get in this major arcana deck. It's just all about unavoidable conflict and collapsing and just a big chaotic destruction of everything, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It's just something that you just have to prepare for and accept. The good thing about this card is, though, because pulling it in a card, in a tarot reading and seeing this just lets you know that, for one, okay, I need to prepare for this. For two, all destruction ends to new beginnings. So even if you see this card and you're like, damn, things are about to crash and crumble, it may indeed be crumbling for a reason. There are bigger and better things that you should be doing. There are new beginnings that need to start, and it has to start obviously by crashing everything that you have going on now. Okay, so my next card is the High Priestess. This is one of my favorite cards, and also one of those cards where you're just like, ugh. And it's one of my favorite cards because in a tarot reading, it doesn't matter what question that you have in mind, it's always going to tell you to follow your intuition. It's always going to tell you that you know the answer that you're seeking. It's just you're not digging deep enough within yourself. This card is actually closely associated with the Priest card. Let me pull it here for you so you can see. Because if you notice, they look a lot alike as the way the card is. The way it is, it was decorated. So these are the two cards. So as you can see, they both have the evil eyes. They both have the same dark purplish background. They have the same color in like these colors here and these colors here. They all are the same. So the difference between the two cards is this is all about traditional values. Remember we went over that. And then this one is all about following her instincts. So now the backstory of her is she was technically a priest. But because she is a woman, in those times, women just weren't priests. So she portrayed herself as a man and became later known as the best priest all over the world. Later on, she ended up giving birth. And once she gave birth, it was known that she was indeed a woman. And later on in life, she became the high priestess. So that's a little bit about her. So the difference between the two is on the original card of this one, she's sitting down on the throne, but there is the book. There's a book on her lap. She doesn't read the book or anything. She just knows her information intuitively because she trusts her instincts and she follows them. And that's the difference between her and the priest. The priest goes by a set amount of rules and regulations that are followed by a book. She does not go by a book. She just goes by her own internal instincts. So getting this card is like a slap on the wrist or something. Like you already know the answer, or like doing homework with parents and it's a math question and they're looking at you like you know the answer. That's basically how she looks at you. Okay, and then the next card is the Devil. So the Devil card is basically the original Devil card. It's the devil at the top, and then there's a couple, kind of like the Lover's card, and they're both shackled from their legs and their neck. But if you look closely into the card, you'll see that the shackles on their neck are so loose that they can literally just take it off themselves. That's basically what the Devil card is. It's an illusion to make you feel like you're stuck in a situation that you're really not stuck in. So holding on to things that you don't need to hold on to are associated with this card. Maybe a relationship where you feel like you're trapped and you can't escape, or a job where you feel like you're trapped, or just anything really that you're just overwhelmed and you feel like you're trapped and there's nothing you can do and you're just not happy. But at the same time, you don't want to leave because you feel like you can't. That is the illusion of the devil. He makes you feel like you cannot move and that you're powerless to change the situation, when indeed you can change the situation anytime that you feel like it. You just have to come up with the inner strength to get out of that situation. Now, if it is a situation where it's a domestic violence type of issue, there are programs that you can get into. I know for some people, calling the cops is not the best thing because, 9 times out of 10, he's going to go to jail, get out, and come back and find you. There are programs, there are friends, there are family members, there's multiple people you can talk to get out of that toxic relationship. Do not stay in a toxic relationship just because you're scared. Okay, and then the next card, sorry, hot in here. Let's see. All right. So the next card, the Empress. So the Empress, as you can see closely, she's laid back. She's outside. She has her coconut drink, her banana. She got the leaves. The sun is setting. She's just chilling. She's relaxed. She's perfect. So the Empress card is basically telling you to get out and enjoy nature in the motherland. As you can see, she's relaxing outside. She's not inside relaxing. She's telling you to go out and enjoy your life, but at the same time, get in with nature, get in tune with yourself, figure out what it is that you want, and go out there and do it. Do not just sit up here and settle and just be sunk up into work and you don't have time for fun and you're just working constantly, stressed out. She wants you to get out and enjoy your life and have fun and just get out into nature. Maybe go take a hike, go take a long walk, go to the park. I don't know if you have dogs or animals or whatever. Take your animals for a walk. Just get out in nature, clear your mind, and figure out what it is that you want and have fun. Let off. Just relax, chill, enjoy in the accomplishments that you have had in the past and the accomplishments that you have now. Just be happy for the life that you have. The next card is the Lover's card. So this card is closely associated to love readings. It necessarily doesn't have to always, but of course, in a love reading, this is the perfect card to get. It's perfect union between you and your significant other. Y'all work well together. It doesn't necessarily even have to be a significant other. It can just be a partnership of a friendship, or maybe y'all have shared business partners or some sort. It's just a perfect union, basically. Now, in a personal context, this card is about choice. So choosing, what do you want? Choosing what do you want to do in life, choosing your beliefs and values, choosing how to go about doing it, choosing how to bring those values into a lifestyle that you currently want. It's all about choice and what do you want to do. If it's a situation where you're scared, do it anyway. Next card is the World. So the world is kind of like, how do they say that? You have in the world at your feet, like you're complete, like completion. You're happy, you got everything accomplished that you wanted to accomplish, and it's just asking you to bask in that and just be proud of yourself and just be happy that you came to, you came to completion. Like, just be accepting, just happy. And what do they say, having the world at your fingertips, things of those sorts. Like, enjoy what you have. Do not just sit up there and be like, well, I can have more, or this person has more. Like, no, you have did a lot, you've accomplished a lot, and you should be proud of yourself. The next card, the Fool. So every time I see this card, I think about fool in love. So the Fool, this card, as you can see, she's looking like she's off of a cliff. She has, what is it, a flower in her hand. She's just glowing. She's ready to take off and leap. The Fool is closely associated to bigger and better opportunities on the horizon, and you being able to go and take that leap and take that risk to the next step or the next phase in your life. Now, if you're getting this in a tarot reading about taking a new job, this is the automatically like, do it. Just do it. Now, if it's a situation where you're scared to take a risk and this card pops up, it's telling you the same thing. Like, there's no need to be scared. It's a better and bigger opportunity ahead for you. So just do it. All right. So my chair is like all messed up. So the next card is Strength. So this has to do with kind of like the Chariot, but except it'll be inner strength we're talking about. So having the inner strength to change a situation, having the inner strength within yourself to get over past wounds. It can be multiple different interpretations just depending on your circumstance. But one resounding thing is inner strength and having the inability within yourself. Now, it differs from the Chariot card because it's more so focusing on the insides rather than the outside force. Okay, and let's see what we have next. The next card is the Hermit. So this card is all about introspection. As you can see, she's kind of isolated. She's looking out the window like she's alone. like she's just thinking and just visioning things. So this card is all about figuring out what it is that you want, self-discovery. So maybe after a bad breakup, you come to terms where you don't know how you feel or you don't know what to do next. This is the next step from that situation. You would just do a lot of self-discovery. Now, if you have friends that may be going through a bad breakup and they just kind of like cut you off, and it's not that they're intentionally cutting you off, it's just they're in this introspection phase where they're just trying to figure out what it is that they want in life, and they cannot have any outside forces coming in and changing their train of thought. They need to figure this out for themselves. The next card, the Star. So the Star actually comes after the Tower. So after your world then totally collapsed and everything just fell down and it's just terrible, the Star is the next. Now this is about self-healing. So healing yourself from a past situation, healing yourself from a current situation. It also, just depending on where you are, it can also determine that you are currently in that phase of self-healing, or you're currently coming out of self-healing and you're ready to open yourself up to the next phase in life. So just depending on where you're at in your life will determine what the meaning of this card is. Now the next card is the Sun. So the Sun represents brighter days and things just getting better from where they were before. So if you're just in a terrible situation, and this card is just a reminder that things will get better, things will get brighter, you will be happier, and you will be happy for the change that was brought onto you before you received the Sun. Now if you're in a situation where you are already feeling happy and helpful, and you feel like all kind of good things are coming towards you, then this card is just signifying that that's the period that you're in at this current state. Now the next card, the Death card. When I originally, before I even got into tarot cards, I was terrified of this card. And it's just because it looks dark and scary and just like horrible, and I was just like, dude, am I going to die? And people that don't know about tarot interpretations, they're like, this is death, and no, it's not. It's death in a sense of death of an older situation, or death of something that needed to end in order for something better to happen. So when you see this card, instead of associating it with death, I want you to associate it with new beginnings on the horizon, because in order for something to begin, you need something to end. And this card is the ending of a phase in your life that no longer suits you, that you no longer need. So this is actually, in a sense, a great card to get, because it just lets you know that something in your life that did not work for you is leaving to bring on better opportunities and better things in life that will help you. And the final card, the Justice card. So I kind of prefer to call this the Karma card, just because of not only the way it looks, but because of what it represents. So as you can see, it's balancing. Anyway, so as you can see, it's a scale and it's balancing, and kind of like science. We all done that, where we had to like balance two items and to see if we can get something to where the two items balance itself out. Just like we learned, every reaction equals opposite reaction. Same thing with this. What you put out into the world comes back onto you. If you're a hasty, mean, and hateful person, then you'll get hasty, mean, hateful people back to you that just treat you horrible, and things will just end up horrible for you. Now, if you're a good person, you treat people good, and your life is happy and you're good, then good things can only come for you. With that being said, so when you see this card, just associate that with karma. That's just the easiest way to interpret it. I know some other psychics, when they see this card, they say it could represent maybe a judicial system where maybe if you're suing someone or being sued or you have court dates and stuff like that, it can signify that, which it can, but for the most part, it's about balancing. Why do I keep saying it wrong? For the most part, it's just about putting into the world what you're giving, basically. Like, you'll get what you put out there. So that is the last of the major arcana. And I will be doing some free tarot interpretations and some tarot readings. If you follow me on my Instagram, just DM me. You want to do a tarot reading for love, for finances, to see if you're on the right path, anything, yes or no. Just make sure you DM me. I'll have all the information in the box below. I originally put the first 10 people, but I mean, whatever. I'll do as many people as I can and I have time to do. I just want to make sure I can get to everybody in a timely manner, because I don't want you waiting like forever and forever, because I don't like to wait, so I'm definitely not about to make you wait. So yeah, so I'll have all the information below. Just make sure you put what you want the reading to be focused about, and if you have questions, make sure you put the question in there so I can give you an accurate answer. I'll be probably doing most of the answers using this spread, but if it's a deep answer that you need that can not be interpreted through these cards, I will use the minor arcana cards, because that way it'll give you a deeper interpretation and understanding of what the real issue is that you're trying to figure out. So just make sure you put enough information so I know which deck I should use. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to do another video soon. I know I haven't, it's been like a while. It's just with this pandemic going on, everything's been crazy, work's been crazy, it's just been crazy. So but I will get to everyone as soon as possible. If you have any suggestions of videos you would like me to do, you can go ahead and comment that below. Other than that, I'll be doing a random card spread reading. I'll do like interpretations of a random card I'll pick, and I'll do the reverse and the upright interpretation of the card. So just let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and you guys have a great day. Bye.